Getting this Mahindra sales numbers, they look good on the face of it, though what I have in terms of a poll is a 58,000 number. That obviously includes all their vehicles, perhaps their tractors as well. So Mahindra was expected to produce 58,000 vehicles against 47,000 year ago and 52,400 in the previous quarter. So this clearly refers to only some of the vehicles, maybe not to their tractor. That must be the total units. So we'll have to wait and see how the details come out, but this still looks very good. 37,000 versus 31,000 year ago, that still works out to what, 16, 17, 18% increase?
We have the tractor figures also. It's 19,848 units in tractors. So
37,000 to 18,000 would mean it is pretty close to the 58,000 mark. Maybe a little less than what analysts were expecting, but still a good number. We'll have to wait and see. 19,000, how much was the tractor sales?
19,848.
Okay, that's almost 20,000. So, okay, they are running at a 58,000 total, which is what the street was expecting, and that's a good set of numbers. Actually, Mahindra had a superb February sales. So, over and above the February sales of 52,500, they have done 58,000. Clearly a good performance actually coming in from Mahindra, or so it seems from the initial numbers. February was an outstanding figure for them, if I remember right, and this one coming in at 58,000, I think.
So it's 57,370 versus an expectation of 58,000. Let's get to Mr. Vivek Nayer from M&M, who is joining us on the line from Mumbai. Thanks for joining us, Mr. Nayer. You've done a decent growth. The industry expectation or the consensus expectation is a growth about 21%. It seems like you've done about a little more than 20%. What's the outlook going forward? Do you expect to maintain this?
Well, first of all, let me talk about the month gone by and the year gone by. So we are pretty happy with the growth that we've registered this month as a sector, which is a growth of 18%, which, as you know, is on a higher base, and the numbers are 37,520. And we've also registered highest ever monthly sales in both domestic and exports. So domestic sales have grown 19%, export sales have grown 16%, and both of these numbers are the highest ever numbers at 35,486 for domestic and 2034 for exports. And if I give you the total financial year, the annual picture as well, it's a good performance at 26% overall growth, which, as you know, is helped by the higher growths that were registered in the earlier quarters, the Q1, Q2, Q3. Q4 obviously is the growth is moderated because of the higher base effect, but still overall, 18%. Is a very handsome growth, and we are pretty pleased with the month gone by.
Okay, Mr. Nayer, if you can give us a bit of a breakup, what did you do by way of passenger UVs in March? Sure. How much were the Logan sales, the pickups?
Yeah, so passenger UVs, Lata, grew 19% at 17,319 units. Logan again had an excellent month. We registered 1,017 units, which is a growth of 190% over same month last year. In fact, during the course of the year, Logan sales have grown 88% to more than 10,000 units. So that's a very good story for us, and we are very pleased with the way Logan is progressing. In the three-wheeler segment, we've had a month growth of 32%, whereas the year growth is 40%. So, that's shaping up pretty well as well.
How much would that be in terms of vehicles? Three-wheelers?
In three-wheelers, March was 5,769 units. And for the year, it is more than 62,000 units. Okay.
And what about M&M, your Logan exports and your other exports in terms of number of units?
Well, total exports, for the month, more than 17,000 units, which is a growth of 62%. and Logan exports were 1904 as compared to 1,000 numbers last year. So exports have done extremely well.
Okay.
The couple of key markets to be highlighted are Chile and Sri Lanka, which are doing extremely well.
Okay. Logan, actually, we have your February numbers. They were 1,150. Any reason why you produced 150 vehicles less in March? It's a longer
Well,
month.
we could have easily sold more Logan, but we had some constraints.
Okay.
We could have sold more.
All right. So this is really a capacity issue in terms of components?
Yeah, there was a supply issue. Yeah, there was a
Okay.
supply.
Now, therefore, how is April looking to you? Are the component issues getting resolved, and so you could find a better April?
Well, we'll have to wait and see, Lata, but I think we are at the start of April, at the start of a new financial year. I would say we are cautiously optimistic. Cautious because, interest rates have gone up. During the course of the financial year, they've gone up about 300 basis points or so. Commodity prices have gone up, which is a cause of concern. Optimistic because, we have dealt with these kind of issues before. We know how to cut cost. We will be looking at passing on some of the commodity increases to the customer. Our brands are in very strong positions, as you know, and we have a very strong portfolio of products.
Okay.
So, that holds us in good stead for the year starting 1st April.
So now, since we have begun FY12 today, if you can give us a slightly medium-term picture, you will be leveraging on Sanyon's distribution presence, so your exports could go up. You have that planned tractor plant at Hyderabad, plus the Chakan plant should reach full capacity. What do you think will be the expected growth rate over the next 2 years for M&M, given all these expansions?
As you know, we don't talk about future growth rates for M&M, but I can say that as an industry, the auto industry, I think is likely to achieve about 15% odd growth rates, which I think would be a fairly good level of growth, considering the base has become high. And considering the challenges that I've spoken about, I think 15% odd growth is a realistic figure to aim for. And all the fundamentals are in place. The long-term growth story is intact. So I don't see why 15% should not get delivered for the industry.
All right. So one more question before we let you go. The Maharashtra government, there were reports yesterday about the sales tax incentives being withdrawn. Do you think there is a possibility of a rollback of this move, given that you all have made a 4,000 crore investment in the Chakan plant? Would you all be opposing this move?
Good question, but no comment.
All right. You're still assessing the impact, sir, of how much this could impact earnings in the next year?
No comment.
All right. All right, sir. Thanks a lot for joining us. So that was M&M. No comments on that sticky issue, which is why M&M had corrected 3.5% yesterday in the initial hours of trade, but has recovered back about 2%. The market seems to have factored it.
Seems like a work in progress. Perhaps some negotiations are on, which is why we are not getting any comments. Would I get